Where do I begin is the question that has been on my mind since I finished Black Ops 7. And yes, I did finish it. Maybe I'll still play a couple rounds of multiplayer here and there, but as for the base of the game, I'm done with it. And Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is probably the worst Call of Duty that I have played. And I've played them all. This is coming from a place of not only just like years and years of playing this series. I mean, I started with Finest Hour on the PS2. Greedy Waffles bought the game because he was like, oh, the cover looked cool, I think. And we played it. It was really cool. And then we got the PC version of Call of Duty 1 plus the expansion pass with United Offensive. And it just kind of went from there. I've played every single one of these games from the good to the bad. And Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is definitely the one that I feel like deserves the lowest spot on this totem pole. Because despite what you say about Modern Warfare 3 from a couple years ago, at least the multiplayer was fun. You know, the campaign wasn't good, but at least it had that multiplayer mode that still was enjoyable, even though the maps from Modern Warfare 2 didn't really feel good with the new system. I gave Modern Warfare 3 a 1.5 out of 5 at the end of the day. And if you want to hear my thoughts on that game, you can go back. And I probably was pretty, pissed off during that review as well. This review, I'm going to try and stay as calm as I can while I talk about this game. But the problem is that Black Ops 7 is a continuation of a story that I really, really love from Black Ops 2. Black Ops 2 being one of my favorite first-person shooter stories ever. Like, next to Halo 3, there's Call of Duty Black Ops 2, and Modern Warfare 2, of course, the original. And it kind of gets under my skin with all the decisions that they made, not just for the campaign, but for the game in general. I went into this game with low expectations or no expectations, either one. It was on Game Pass. I said, you know what, I'm going to re-up Game Pass. I'm going to play this game because I don't want to spend $70 on it. And I was justified in that because paying $70 for this game is akin to paying $70 for Modern Warfare 3 back when that came out. And, like, should I start with the positives? All right, let's start with the positives. Okay. All right, here we go. It looks nice. The game has incredible graphics, and the game runs well too. It keeps a steady frame rate and all that jazz. But yeah, the facial animations, the graphical qualities of it, all very good. Also, the sound design, not too bad in the game either. Like, pretty good sound design, of course. That's it for the positives for me. Because down to the core of this game, I was just not having fun. And when the core of the game is bad, the rest of the game, it just kind of eats away at the rest of the game. It spreads to other parts of the game itself. Let me start off by saying that my fears from the beta, where the game didn't feel good, it had that new jumping mechanic in there instead of wall running, they were absolutely true. I was right to have fear for this game, because when you get down to it and start playing this game, it just feels awful to play. The gunplay is not fun. The weapons lack the impact that you kind of want in a game like this. And the movement system is just doesn't feel good, right? Black Ops 6, I enjoyed that game because the movement system was really cool. You could dive left, right, back, forward. You could slide. It just felt good to play. Like, was it realistic? Hell no. There was nothing realistic about Black Ops 6. But damn, That movement system was so much fun to just mess around with, whether it be during the campaign, zombies, or multiplayer. Black Ops 7 just doesn't have that feel to it. It reeks of we're pushing this game out unfinished, because it has some elements of the Black Ops 6 movement system, but not all of them. It's very strange. It's also really strange that they would take out wall running in this game, because wall running has been in Call of Duty for quite some time, and it also makes more sense to have wall running in this game rather than Black Ops 6, because in Black Ops 7, it's set in the future, and you have bionic implants and all that crap. You should be able to wall run in this. I'm starting to get annoyed just talking about it already. And I'm about to get even more annoyed. Let's talk about the campaign, because the campaign was what I was really interested in going into this game, seeing what they were going to do with David Mason's story, because Black Ops 2 is a very unique game in the Call of Duty franchise where you can make decisions, you can miss things that can impact the story later on, and these things start off slow at the beginning, which I've been showing on my streams, or playing Black Ops 2 on stream right now. It starts off a bit slow, like some of the things are kind of like you have to do this, or it's a very obvious thing that you need to do, but then it gradually adds in these elements where it's like, oh, well, because of this, or this is a hard decision to make, or blah, 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 and it continues on, and it impacts the end of the story. What Black Ops 7 did, because Black Ops 6 has so many, it has like 4 or 5 endings to it, which I know, so many endings. It has a couple of endings to it, right? Some are good, some are bad, some are ambiguous. Black Ops 7, what Activision decided to do, they decided to go off of the worst timeline for Black Ops 2. And what does that mean? It means that Menendez did not die. Menendez got killed by David Mason. It means that his message went out unimpeded. Unpeded? What's the word? It went out without any trouble. So they didn't save the hacker girl. So that message got out to the public, and it caused riots and whatnot, and people to rise up and go against the government. And then also David Mason's father, Alex Mason, from the original games, Black Ops 1 and well, he was in Black Ops 2 as well. They went with the notion that Woods killed him with a headshot. There's a very famous scene where a person with a bag over their head comes out, and Woods is told by Hudson that it's Raul Menendez under the bag. So Woods, as Woods, you can either choose to shoot him in the head or shoot him in the leg. And if you get the leg shot, Mason lives. If you shoot him in the head, of course, well, he's dead. So they went with the worst decision there, where Woods just shoots him in the head. They also go with one of the worst decisions, which is, well, I guess technically it's like a decision you have to make, but they decide to save Harper in the campaign. So that means that, well, it's complicated, but essentially you want to choose to kill Harper in Black Ops 2 because things actually go better for you. It's a hard decision to make, I know. So yeah, Harper's alive in this game as well. They also add 2 new characters who are just kind of like stand-ins. They don't really have anything going on. So, Black Ops 7. First things up, because I was just talking about Harper, they changed Harper's character completely. In the first game, or in Black Ops 2, he is serious at times, but he can make some jokes here and there. In Black Ops 7, he's just a joke machine, 24/7, just telling jokes, butchering the character, just making him comic relief and not much going on there. David Mason, they turned him from whatever he was in Black Ops 2, which was kind of like a badass soldier, as you probably know. They turned him into just like a blank slate, kind of like unemotional character, just whatever. The other 2 characters, they're fine, like 50-50. She has like a story where her limbs get blown off, and there's like a part in the game where she crouches down to defend Mason, and she puts her robotic arm and leg in the way. And it reminded me of that scene from Captain America Winter Soldier where the soldiers come in to shoot the Winter Soldier, and they just aim for his arm. They don't like aim for his waist or his legs, and it just reminded me of that scene. It's like, just shoot like a little bit lower or a little bit higher and you'll get a kill shot on this woman. The other guy is revealed to have been a Secret Service agent for the president during the attack on Los Angeles, I think. Which is like fine. It's all shoehorned in, right? It's all shoehorned in. And the only reason that these characters are even relating back to Black Ops 2 is so that they can put in these scenes and these sections where you're playing through like a broken up dream-like version, floating platforms and all that version of the level that you did in Black Ops 2. So there's a section where you go into this guy, into the, I think it's Samuel's mind palace or whatever you call it, and his biggest trauma is not doing enough to try and save the president during that whole shebang. So what happens? You pretty much go through a step-by-step retelling of the events from the Black Ops 2 mission, and you're just like shooting enemies as you go through it. You're jumping across these buildings, and I mean, there was a couple of cool sections that were kind of Inception inspired, where you're like climbing, like the freeway is like vertical, and you're climbing up the cars, like kind of cool. It's been done before in something like Titanfall 2, but kind of cool, I guess. So, I mean, this is all just like nostalgia bait. There's an entire section where you're in Vorkuta and you're using zombies to help you advance through Vorkuta, and they're going through like each of the steps, like skewer the winged beast and all that stuff. Like, you go through all those things again, and it's like, wow, I just want to go back and play the Black Ops 1 mission because there was more impact there. There was something actually going on. This is all just in the mind, the chip of the soldiers. All of them are connected. That's how it's 4-player co-op. All the chips are connected and linked together, so everyone can kind of join each other's nightmares. There's another level where you go and you have to save Woods from the cargo container, much like in Black Ops 2. And it's just going through all those steps, and then you find Woods, and he tells you something, and then you go back to the real world. And like, I wouldn't be as annoyed if they just respected the source material a bit more, but they're literally just using it for jumping off points and flaky plot points. Oh, I'm starting to get angry. It's one of those things where it's just used for nostalgia. It is literally just used for nostalgia. There is nothing else. There is no real substance to anything that is going on. It's all just nostalgia bait. It's all just this big umbrella of, hey, Black Ops 2 was a great game, wasn't it? You loved Black Ops 2 and that campaign, didn't you? And it's like, yes, I did, but why are you doing this now? And it's because Call of Duty is in a place where they need to try and push this nostalgia agenda so that people buy the game and play the game, because maybe they have fond memories of Black Ops 2 like myself, or maybe they enjoyed the story of Black Ops 2, or maybe whatever. And so that, I mean, I just feel like that's why, and also I feel like Call of Duty is like, oh, well, people are probably going to be pretty nostalgic for the futuristic era of Call of Duty, right? So let's do something with Black Ops 2. I think that's also what they were doing, because Black Ops 6 and Black Ops Cold War are kind of like nostalgia bait for the original Black Ops game, where it was set in like Vietnam and whatnot. So, I mean, it all kind of like comes around, and I don't know if people are really nostalgic for the futuristic era of Call of Duty. I mean, honestly, Black Ops 2 was kind of just the beginning of the whole thing, and it was still boots on the ground and whatnot, but there was cool things like the claw tanks that could walk around, and all these like really cool attachments for your weapons and stuff like that. Like, there was cool stuff in the game, don't get me wrong. But you fast forward to Black Ops 7, and all the guns you're using, there's no like cool attachment for them. There's no like, oh, here's the one that like can show people through walls, and oh, here's the one that can like puts a diamond on the enemy, so you kind of can see them more clearly. Like, all that stuff is like taken out of the game. There's really no sci-fi elements in the game other than the aesthetics, like the cities and the things that you're interacting with. Like, oh, this is a sci-fi laptop because it's just a screen and a keyboard. Woo, oh, I'm using my NFL football pad to type out some command. Woo, Watch out. Like, they don't even have a grenade that shoots from your wrist. That was a main thing from Black Ops 2, was a grenade that shoots from your... It's an impact grenade, shoots from your fucking wrist. They don't even have some of the baseline shit. Like, oh, we have an EMP grenade in there, though. So there's EMP grenades in other Call of Duty games as well. This is nothing special. Well, the one thing that was, like... There's so many things that you can say that were from Black Ops 2 that made that game futuristic and felt futuristic, is because they had all these cool gadgets and gizmos in that game to make it futuristic, even though while keeping the gameplay boots on the ground. It was great. And then, yes, Black Ops 7 comes around, they're like, it's in the future, but how is it in the future? Other than the aesthetics of this game, how is it in the future? Because we don't see a lot of the real world. You go into these dreamlike sequences almost every other level. So the game is set up like this. You do a section in the Warzone map that's just kind of like an open area, and you're just shooting enemies, and then you get to an objective. And once you get to that objective and you interact with that objective, it takes you into the dream world. You go into this level where you're fighting Raul Menendez with machetes, or you're finding woods, or you're going through Vorkuta, or you're fighting a giant version of Harper on the aircraft carrier, which is another famous scene from Black Ops 2 as well. You're fighting on the USS Obama, right? So, yeah, half the game is on the Warzone map, half the campaign. And this is the same problem that Modern Warfare 3 had, where you're just repurposing and reusing these elements from Warzone for your shitty campaign. It loosely tells a story, and you go from point A to point B, and maybe there's something to do in the middle, but there's definitely something to do at the end to get you into an actual level. But these actual levels aren't really designed that well either. I think there was like maybe 2 levels in this game that I enjoyed playing. One of them was the one in Los Angeles where you're doing the pseudo save the president level, and the other one was this level where you start off on. There's that map in Black Ops 6 that was like the yacht. I think it was also in Black Ops 2, the yacht. It's essentially a recreation of that map, and you're going through stealthily killing enemies, and then you have to ram the boat into the docks, and then you jump across the buildings in Tokyo, I think it is. And I thought that was pretty cool until the end, when there was a boss fight with a bullet sponge VTOL. But there was like 2 levels in this game that I was like, oh, okay, that was kind of fun. I could see myself maybe replaying some of this level in the future. Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. But all these Warzone sections, these are not levels. These are essentially, remember how in the Lego games, it's like when there was an open world, whether it be in Lego Batman or Lego Marvel or whatever, you would have these sections where it's between the main story missions, and you're just kind of like walking through the open world and doing basic objectives. It kind of feels like that, where you go from the intro mission where you're trying to get into this facility to see what they're up to, and then you go to the Warzone map, and then you go from the Warzone map, you do a little objective in the Warzone map, and then you go to the next level, which is finding woods or fighting Raul Menendez or whatever. So yeah, like all these things are just stupid. It's all just stupid, okay? It's all brain dead and fucking stupid. There's nothing of substance in this campaign whatsoever, and it's so fucking annoying because Black Ops 2 once again is one of the best of the Call of Duty campaigns that it has to offer. It's one of my favorite first-person shooter campaigns. So going into this game, I was like, just at least do something with the story. At least do something with the story. They do nothing with the story. Nothing with the story at all. The main villain of the game is it's not even a twist. There's like an opening sequence where she's like being interviewed by a news reporter, and she's like, we're gonna do our best to try and fix this situation. And what happens? Well, they have some sort of red gas that makes you hallucinate and affects your cybernetics, and she releases it into the facility, and it's like it's her from the get-go. And even in the first cutscene, they reveal that it's her. And I know that it was in the reveal trailer that this woman was I forget what her name was, but this woman was the villain. But it's like, can you at least do something of substance in the story? Like maybe try and do something like you did in Black Ops 2? No, of course not. This is a baseline, vanilla Call of Duty experience that will not be very memorable and will probably, hopefully, sell the worst that the series has sold in a long time. So Yeah, I mean, it just the campaign. It started off on the wrong foot by choosing the wrong timeline for everything. It continues to be on the wrong foot because there is just no sci-fi elements that you're really interacting with. Like you're shooting robots sometimes, and these like weird hallucination constructs that are more akin to zombies than anything else. And you're going through these vanilla bare bones levels in Warzone, and then you're getting to an actual level that is just the same shit. It's just the same shit. You go from point A to point B and you shoot everything in your way. And the most annoying thing, or maybe the more annoying thing, or maybe partially an annoying thing about this game is the fact that the enemies are all bullet sponges. Like, it takes a whole clip to take out some enemies because they have a health bar. It's RPG elements in my Call of Duty game. I can't just shoot people with 2 shots or a headshot and call it a day. No, no, no. They have to, you have to shoot this robot like 50 million times with 3 rounds of ammunition to get them to go down. You have these boss characters who come around who they snipe you, or they vanish in and out of sight, or like Raul Menendez from he's like the first boss fight in the game. And by the way, he was a big part of the marketing and the big part of the first cutscene in the game. He's not in the game whatsoever after that first point, so it's like, what the fuck, he doesn't even matter. But essentially, you can't take him down with regular firearms, or it'll take a very long time. You have to use these like machetes coming down from the sky to take him out. And it's like, look, man, I like, this is just it's a Call of Duty campaign. We don't need to have these sort of things in the Call of Duty campaign. Like, just write a decent story and do what you did in Black Ops 6. I don't think Black Ops 6 had a perfect campaign, but it was fun. It had elements in there that were exciting. It had the whole espionage and like actual Black Ops shit going on, which is a real problem for this game and a lot of other games that call themselves Black Ops. There's just like nothing to do with the Black Ops mantra of being an undercover team or a deep in cover team. Like, there's nothing going on in this game that even relates back to Black Ops. Same thing with Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4 for sure. Like, these games, they don't have any espionage. They don't, like, Black Ops 7 for that definitely, it barely has any stealth sections. And when you do he said doo-doo, when you do a stealth section, you have the ability to just start shooting enemies anyway. It's not even actually a stealth section. There's no consequences to being caught. There's no objectives where it's like, oh, you can't be caught during this section. There's nothing like that. It's all just baseline, kill all the enemies, get to the objective area, boom, bada bing, get out of there. And it just makes the entire campaign experience so fucking boring and annoying. There's an entire boss fight where Harper becomes this giant monstrosity and he's like all pissed off. And the amount of time it takes to shoot that fucking boss was so long. There was nothing you could do to really speed that up, and I was so bored just unloading clip after clip after clip into this fucking thing. It was so fucking annoying. And the final boss fight for the game, you fight 3 mechs. You use an RPG to take them out. It is the most baseline shit ever. Do they spawn in enemies? Yes. Do I need to care about the enemies? No. I can literally just fucking headstrong it and kill the robot quickly. Like, it's just so fucking dumb. Like, the whole campaign is just so fucking dumb, and it doesn't even feel fun to play. That's the other thing too. The guns lack impact, the movement system is dull, and the entire game just lacks that sci-fi flair that you're hoping for in the weapons. It's one of those. It's just so annoying. It really gets me riled up. And the things they did with the characters and what they decided to do, just I wish that they would uncanonize this game immediately, because it doesn't ruin Black Ops 2, but like, damn, like, just damn, just damn, for fuck's sake. So yeah, the campaign, utter and ultimate. It's just dog shit. It is dog poo poo, and there's nothing really redeeming about it. Was there 2 levels that I enjoyed playing? Yes, on a baseline, like, oh, this is kind of fun to jump across cars, and oh, this is kind of fun to jump across buildings. But the levels themselves weren't really good. The one where you save the president, well, quote unquote, save the president. It's just a basic like run and gun type level, and then there's some platforming elements. Same thing with the level where you're jumping across the Tokyo city you know, like it is what it is. It has a nice progression to it, but then it ends with with a boss fight against a VTOL that turns invincible while enemies spawn and takes forever to take out because it has so much health, even with the fucking RPG. Ah, man. And they also decide to throw in a twist into the game. Ooh, a twist. So there is one level where you play as a new character. There's a group of new characters. And I shit you not, these characters are only added in so they have more characters for the multiplayer mode. You know, they got the guy with the like this big mask and apparatus on him, and he looks like the guy who was the firebug from Black Ops 3. There's another person who is wearing like a fighter pilot helmet with the little tubes coming off of it, kind of a TIE fighter pilot maybe. Like that, you know, she doesn't, like, these characters don't make sense to be here. There's another girl who has like a knit cap on and a backpack on, like she's in some sort of apocalyptic movie. Like, what are these characters doing here? The main guy was the only one who looked the part. Everyone else just was random. It was like they picked out these character designs and were like, yeah, this would be a good character to put in here for a Black Ops squad. No, they're not. they're just characters that you got from the multiplayer mode or whatever. Like, it doesn't make any sense. There's no cohesion to this group at all. At least with Mason's group, they all look relatively the same. They all have cybernetic enhancements. They all have a personality. And in this other group that you go to, it's like no one matches. No one matches. There's no cohesion here at all. And then the stupidest thing is that they make the main leader of that group is just like Salazar. He's the twist villain. He gives all the information to blah blah blah. And it's like, who cares? We saw this guy for one scene. They do the same thing at the very end of this game. They show the woman's like right hand man like smashing a tablet. He's like, fuck, they got my queen. We saw this guy for 30 seconds in the opening cutscene. That is all the time in the game that he got for the entirety of the game. 30 seconds in the opening cutscene, maybe not even 30 seconds, honestly. And then at the end of the game, they show this dude with he has this ring, like that's a very important thing. He has this ring and he smashes the table, Hulk smash. And it's like, God, who is this guy? I don't even know who this fucking guy is. I had to look it up. Because they didn't show any of this guy was not an important character throughout the entire campaign. The entire fucking campaign. He does not do a single thing. He says nothing. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely fucking brain dead. This entire game is brain dead. Oh my God. Am I forgetting anything? Oh, yeah, if you're playing solo, the campaign is always online. You can't quit out of a level or you have to restart the entire level. It actually match makes before you go into it, so if you have fill squad or have your party open, it'll automatically fill you up with 3 other people to play the campaign with. There are no checkpoints during the campaign, but if you do die, it's not like it's a complete game over and you restart the level. You just kind of like spawn in and all the enemies that you already killed are already dead. So there's no real consequence to dying in the game once again. It's just really, really stupid. Like the whole 4-player co-op thing doesn't even matter in the end. If you're playing solo, it doesn't even have bots fill in the roles of the other 3 characters. They're just gone. They're just not there. Even though they're still talking to you, they're just not there. And it's so half-baked. It just really is so half-baked. The whole campaign feels half-baked, which is another symptom of Modern Warfare 3. When Modern Warfare 3 came out, like, it just felt like a giant expansion pass that they were trying to sell for $70. And the game was so disappointing in a lot of different ways, and then the campaign was the main thing there, where it just felt really thrown together. Like, even though the animations were fine and maybe the story beats for the most part were fine, the problem was that the levels felt very thrown together. There was no objectives to really speak of other than shoot enemies and move on. And I think that there was actually some more thought put into Modern Warfare 3, because there was actually missions where you could lose and you had to restart and stuff like that. And there were some cool missions in there too, like the whole there was that whole mission where you were like in the ghillie suit and you had like the big vast open area that you were like by the lakeside or whatever that you were going through. Like, that was, that's a level that I look back fondly on. Black Ops 7 though, it has nothing like that. It really doesn't. It's all just thrown together Warzone assets. The enemy types, they're all just just stupid. Like, there's nothing really that interesting in this game. They also couldn't even design little robots. Like, they have drones, but those are in the campaign. I mean, I'm sorry, the multiplayer and the Warzone. So it's like they don't really need to even do anything to specially design those drones. But they don't have any claws. They don't have any of those little like robot guys with the twin guns running around. There's like a couple of sentry guns in the game. Other than that though, there's like nothing there. And the VTOLs that come in, they just drop off enemies and then leave. Like there's no real like I said, there's nothing sci-fi about this game other than the aesthetics. Like you could literally plaster a modern warfare setting over this, and it would make no difference whatsoever. There's literally nothing about the game that screams sci-fi other than the way that it looks. There's no interactable things that are sci-fi. There's nothing like that. So yeah, I mean, it's just stupid. And then you might have the counter argument. Well, what about the dream sequences? They're dream sequences. You can do anything you want with a dream sequence. And also, like, this has been a trope of the Black Ops series and even Call of Duty in general, and a lot of games in general. Like even games like Marvel Spider-Man and stuff like that use these dream sequences to kind of change up the gameplay a little bit. It's fine when it's just like a level, right? Call of Duty Cold War had the same thing where it was like a level. I think Black Ops 6 also had that level where you were like fighting zombies inside of that CIA place, right? Like, a level is fine and actually fun, but when it's every other level or every level, it just gets annoying. It just gets annoying, and it just becomes a trope that is overused. And that's exactly what they did in this game. And you can go back to Black Ops 2. You can play through that campaign. I don't think there's a single dream sequence in Black Ops 2. I will be honest. It's kind of crazy. It all started with Black Ops 3 when they did that World War II section during Black Ops 3. And after that, every single Black Ops game needed to have, well, besides from Black Ops 4, you know, that's the asterisk, that's the exception, Black Ops 4, because Black Ops 4 didn't even have a campaign attached to it. But I gave Black Ops 4 like a 2 out of 5 because I thought the gameplay was still at least fun, and the multiplayer had some addicting qualities to it. Right? Like, it's so crazy to me. I went back through and I double checked all of my ratings for the Call of Duty games. And yeah, I mean, I gave Black Ops 7 the lowest score out of any game, which I will reveal after we talk about the multiplayer and the zombies mode, which is going to be a pretty short segment because I don't really have anything to say other than the multiplayer. It just doesn't feel great. It's very like thrown together. There's a lot of old maps coming back, and that's another symptom of like, okay, they're just kind of like shuffling in old content, reusing old content. Like, you know, it has the same problem as the campaign where the weapons just lack the impact and the feel that they need to make it fun. The regenerating health is really quick in this game, so if you shoot someone and they run away, they'll likely have full health when you go around that corner. The weapons and gadgets that you use, just nothing really screams fun to me. The little charge abilities that you have, like you can put down that drone dispenser and whatnot, those are fine, but they ultimately really don't have any impact on the battlefield at the end of the day. All the score streaks are just the usual things that you would expect from a Call of Duty game. As I said before, all the attachments and stuff like that, there's really nothing super sci-fi about it. Like, the attachments are just what you expect. Like, some of the guns are interesting, like interesting concepts, but there's nothing to really make them truly interesting to use, right? They all just kind of either feel the same or they just kind of are copy-paste from past Black Ops games. The character skins are dumb. You know, I know that they said that they weren't going to be putting in, like, all the crazy, like, cartoony character skins, but when you see that fucking robot guy from Transit running around, it's like, so stupid. I even typed, like, this guy was gloating about his kill-death ratio, and I was like, y'all should stop, you know, fucking around until you take off that fucking disgusting skin, right? It's just stupid things like that. the map design, like the original maps for the game, really aren't that good either. Like they're either too big or they're too crowded with like various hallways and stuff that go around. Like I just found myself getting lost or just like not knowing where the enemies are. The other thing that happened to me, which I think is a problem for sure, is the fact that it didn't like fill in the lobby when people left. So essentially, it was a group of 5 on my team against a group of 1 on the other team, and it was like a 5 to 7 minute like experience where it was just one person on the enemy team. The game would not populate any more players for the match, and it was just the most boring shit ever. So yeah, I also think that the game is rampant with people who are using some sort of aimbot or hacks. There are some things that have happened to me in the short time that I've played the multiplayer where I like I'll be shooting the person and they'll just like snap, fire one shot, I'm dead. And it's like, okay, that you watch the kill cam. It's like, that is really suspicious. So I feel like also the anti-cheat for this game is not as good as it should be. So yeah, I mean, there's just so many things about the multiplayer that are layering on top of each other, and it all comes back to the fact that the guns don't have impact and the movement is just so restrictive compared to Black Ops 6 that it just makes the experience not that fun. So yeah, I mean, and the map design is also just like really not that good either. So it's a big triple whammy on the multiplayer there. And then the zombies mode is exactly what you expect. It's just, it doesn't do anything. Like the map that they put out really just does not do anything to change the formula, change the aesthetics, etc., etc. They bring back they bring back Tank Dempsey and all those characters from the old games, and it's like, okay, thank you, but also at the same time, like, what is the significance? Like, what is the point? Like, there's one thing that a lot of people love about these Call of Duty games, especially the Black Ops series, and it's the Black Ops zombie story and all that stuff going on. And I just feel like there's nothing here. Like, is it the map that they give you is just so bare bones. It's just the same thing again, where it's like, oh, we have this intricate Easter egg, and oh, we have all these zombies coming after you, and they actually reuse assets from Black Ops 6 with the spider characters and the flying characters as well. Like, there's just like, it just doesn't feel like a better or a new iteration of the zombies mode. It just feels like the same thing, and maybe that's a good thing for some people, but for me personally, I do like to see more effort put into this stuff. Black Ops 1 zombies to Black Ops 2 zombies is a huge leap. Black Ops 2 zombies to Black Ops 3 zombies is a completely different beast. And there was actually like a zombies campaign for Black Ops 3 as well, which is kind of crazy. And then Black Ops 4 zombies was a completely different beast there. Infinite Warfare zombies mode with the 80s aesthetic, like that was really cool. Like there's so many things that they did in the past that were much more interesting than just going like, okay, let's just copy this and put it into the next game, which is just how it feels. And that is a symptom of it being a rushed game. It is a rushed experience. They threw this out there, and they knew what they were doing. Like, they knew, like, Xbox, Microsoft, Activision, Treyarch, they all knew what they were doing here. They were doing the exact same thing that they did between Modern Warfare 2 reboot and Modern Warfare 3 reboot, okay? It's the same exact thing. It's the same exact symptoms, except the game got much, much worse in this instance. And even though Black Ops 6 was not one of my favorite games of the year, I was playing Black Ops 6 all the way up until like summer of this year. And the same, like, I just don't see myself doing that with Black Ops 7. I bought battle passes for Black Ops 6. Like, that's how much I was enjoying that game. And I hadn't done that since Modern Warfare reboot. So yeah, I mean, it's really disappointing, and it's absolutely embarrassing. It's embarrassing for Treyarch. It's embarrassing for Activision. It's truly mostly embarrassing for Microsoft to be putting out another shit Call of Duty game after Modern Warfare 3. And look, I gave Modern Warfare 3 a bit of leeway because it's like, oh, it's during a transition period, and you know, Xbox was probably just like, hey, put something together, we can throw it out there while all the legal stuff is going on for the acquisition. It's like I gave them a little bit of leeway there. But I just cannot do that for this one. There is no transition period. There is no legal things going on. It was just Microsoft and Activision pushing out another Call of Duty game after they said that they were going to be giving Call of Duty a break. They said, we're going to be releasing these every other year now because they have longevity to them. Oh, I guess not. I guess Microsoft is really scraping for fucking dimes because... God damn, they put out they have to put out a Call of Duty game every fucking year. Every fucking year. Black Ops 6 was fine. They could have let that thing ride another year. I mean, we were practically there. It is just the most embarrassing slop that I have played in quite some time. And I've played some fucking slop. Let me tell you that much. And you know it. You know I come onto this podcast and I talk about everything that I've fucking been playing, from the good to the bad to the worst. And this is definitely one of the worst things that I played, not only this year, but in a quite some time. Probably since Modern Warfare 3, honestly. Like, it is just mind-boggling that this game it came out in the state that it's in, and it is such a piss poor representation of anything. It has nothing going on. It has the sci-fi elements are not there. The story is not there. The multiplayer is not there. The feel for the game is not there. The zombies for the game is boring and rehashed. It is just the worst Call of Duty game that I have played ever. And I've played Final Fronts. I've played the PSP game. I've played the DS games. I've played Modern Warfare Reflex on the Wii. All those games I would rather play again over Black Ops 7. Which is why I'm giving Black Ops 7 the lowest score in my ranking and rating of Call of Duty, which is a 1 out of 5.